Top Story is brought to you by Bond Financial Services, your success, our passion, Belaka Mineral Water, the new generation mineral water, as well as myjoyonline.com. We are live on Joy 99.7 FM, also live from the Multi TV studios here. PNC presidential candidate Hassan Nayaraga is in trouble with his own party executives. Some are pushing for him to step down. They say the party will survive his hopelessness and uninspiring conduct. They publicly disowned him this afternoon at a news conference. But how will the PNC survive this looming crisis 2 weeks to the elections? The national and regional executives have the backing of some parliamentary candidates who are also angry at his performance at the IEA debate last night. They accuse Mr. Nayaraga of being an appendage of the ruling NDC. National Youth Organizer of the party, Abu Ramadan, led the charge.
His interest seems more on attacking the MPP than convincing Ghanaians as to the need to vote for him. The question, therefore, is what has he seen wrong or otherwise of this NDC that he wants to take over if all he knows is an attack on the MPP, a co-opposition party, which also seeks to annex the leadership of this country, just as we do. He has become a comical reliever rather than a serious candidate for president. We call on all aggrieved members of the PNC and all those who believe in the ideals and principles of socialism and Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah on free education to support those who believe in this ideology and discard Nayaraga and his like-minded persons whose interests are geared towards their masters, whose clothes and house provide them with their needs, to the detriment of the larger party members and followers. We wish to make it known to Mr. Nayaraga that the PNC survived the bloody bag and stomach revolution of 31st December 1981, and certainly will survive the hopeless and uninspiring and treasonable interests of Nayaraga. We must know that the PNC will not become an appendage of the failed NDC government. The PNC is resolute and fully endorses free education as captured in all our manifestos since 1996. Nayaraga must know that the possibility for free education cannot be limited to the budgetary estimates of the corrupt and decayed NDC administration, of which he has become an unfortunate apostle.
I'm joined in the studio now by Abu Ramadan, who led that news conference this afternoon. Thank you very much, sir, for your time here on Top Story.
Thank you very much.
We have heard the accusation from the NPP today, but hearing it from an executive of the PNC that your own presidential candidate is an appendage of the NDC, what's your evidence?
The evidence is clear for everybody to see, but per his conduct, per his utterances and his demeanor. Clearly, you could see he's gradually moving away from dealing with the issues that would bring votes to the party, but rather seeks to undertake exercises or comments that seek to promote the interest of the NDC or that seem to further boost the campaign of the ruling party.
What has he done in real time?
For instance, yesterday at the IEA debate, as much as possible, you want to change a government. You feel your policies are better. You want to change a government. Sell your idea to the people of this country. You keep referring to the good, saying that the ruling party is undertaking good exercises and good programs.
Does that necessarily mean that it's an appendage?
No. Keep making reference. Not even so. Aside that. His movement all over the country. We have heard. I wouldn't want to engage in such speculations, but we've had dozen.
But isn't it because you don't have any real evidence, and that's why you have to resort to these examples? Although you yourself have just admitted that you don't want to resort to them.
Isn't it true that Nayaraga flew in from Tamale in the presidential jet back to Accra with the president? After he had his private meeting with him. Flew into Accra with him.
So what does that mean?
A presidential candidate who seeks to contest an election and win an election based on the strength of his party. I believe at a certain point, why didn't Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, why didn't all the other presidential candidates who attended the funeral, why didn't they all fly in the presidential jet back to Accra? You ask yourself these questions. Aside that, the comments of the president, our flag bearer, on the formation of the NDP, on the comments of J. Rawlings in the NDC itself, his criticism of J. Rawlings on his comments in the formation of NDP or happenings within the NDC, you ask yourself why? What is happening?
But Mr. Ramadan, you are as guilty, seems to me, as a man you're accusing.
Yes.
You voted for him. He stood before Congress,
Yes.
and you elected him, your presidential candidate.
Precisely.
Why do you accuse him now? Why do you turn around and say he's no good?
We went to Congress with the conviction of electing somebody who would espouse the vision of the party, somebody who would promote the interests of the party, but not somebody who would join a group that overthrew Liman in 1979, in 1981. Overthrew Liman, forced him to die a pauper, will join the same group today and become an agent for the killing of the vision of Liman once again in 2012. That is what we didn't vote for in Sunyani, and that is what we are being given currently, and that's why we are saying no. It shouldn't happen. It shouldn't work that way. I know the repercussion of probably some of us who came to the press conference today. We had regional chairmen from 3 or 4, there are 4 regions who attended, parliamentary aspirants who attended, youth leaders from different regions who also attended. It was heavily represented by almost every aspect of the party activity.
But was this sanctioned by the National Executive?
It wasn't sanctioned by the National Executive.
So this is a rebel group in the party.
It's not a rebel group. As much as we said, we are not out to set aside the structures of the party. What we are interested in doing is to
that is a question I want to ask you, because you are an executive member,
Yes.
and indeed you could have used that internal channel. I will ask that question when we return from the phone lines, because I'm joined on the phone line right now by the General Secretary of the party, Bernard Mona. Thank you very much, Bernard, for your time here on Top Story. Were you aware of this press conference?
Evan, thank you so much. I feel totally mobilized yesterday by the action of our National Youth Organizer. Indeed, it came to my notice.
He's not the only one, though, Bernard. He's not the only one. We had regional executives.
Evan, will you have patience for me to make it clear? I came to my notice and I made a phone call to my National Youth Organizer that this was the information I had, and that for party unity and for the progress of our party, it was important for us to resort to internal ways of resolving them and not to rush to the media. He phoned up with a pledge to call me back. Subsequent calls to me were not responded. And for me to wake up this evening, when we are still dealing with the aftermath of the IEA presidential debate, our youth organizer, in the company of others, could go ahead to organize a press conference. First, let the youth organizer know that organizing a group of people to do press conference is the easiest. Anybody can organize party Facebook and go and sit somewhere and do press conference. Probably in the next second to invalidate what they have also done. It doesn't take much to do so. And therefore, I don't think that that is the way party discipline is structured. Importantly, our party constitution enjoins us to protect and defend our party and the content of it. If there is anything at all, just like the national constitution and our national anthem, we have to uphold and defend the good name of our country. So we also have to uphold and defend the good name of our party. The flag bearer utterances may not sit well with you. But why? That is not the standard. I may have my personal differences with the flag bearer.
But permit me to ask, though, it's not only his performance yesterday that they are citing. Facts they produced yesterday. A very quick one, just so they can add it to the response. They say, for example, Ayariga has brought the party's fortunes to its lowest ebb in its history, securing only 94 registered candidates.
Ivan, you are distorting my line of argument. I told you in my submission that it came to my attention 3 days ago, and I drew the attention of the National Youth Organizer. So certainly it was not based on the performance of the flag bearer. It means that this thing was planned, that immediately after the debate it should happen. So you want to make a logical statement out of it. Well, the issues of the flag bearer meeting with former President Atamil, the issue of his comments, have been heard by various groups of this party. They have been rehearsed, they have been spoken about. We have talked about them. We have even, to some extent, condemned some people for going out when we have internal party structures, and we have not dealt with them. Abu Ramadan asked his father as the national chairman of the party. By the conduct, and particularly he leading the charge, it's a disrespect not only to the party chairman, but to his father. Do you understand? And to all of us who work towards it. And why? Congress took a decision to elect Hassan Ayelga as our flag bearer. Whether I liked it or not, Congress took a decision to elect Abu and to elect me and many others. And therefore, we are enjoined to respect Congress decision.
Let me ask a quick question.
Congress decision is not right. We want to facilitate for our way to attend the Congress. But we have gone round all these cycles.
A quick question to you, sir. They want him rebuked by the national executives. Will this happen?
After publicly ridiculing him through a press conference like this?
In other words, it won't happen.
Where is the national executive and their authority when Abu and his charge could not resort to the national executive, but could take to the media, and after that you somersault and say the national executive should take it up? If you indeed you respect that as a national executive, it should be the first at it. Bring your grievances and we take it up there.
Thank you very much, Bernard Mona. He's the General Secretary of the PNC. Quickly, I've been speaking to Hassan Ayariga. He doesn't want to have anything to do with this. He says he has other important things to deal with, and so he will not waste his time responding to you. But quickly, this can be resolved. But how? Let's speak to a member of the party's Council of Elders, George Luri Bayabo, who again is a founding member. He joins me on the line right now. You've heard concerns. Some may say the party's in crisis 2 weeks to the general elections. What is it that you can do to resolve it?
We shall. Thank you very much. We shall be calling an emergency meeting of the executive, so that we can discuss the issue in-house and resolve the whole matter. I think we are very much concerned about what is happening now.
Do you think that their concerns are? Do you think that their concerns are legitimate?
Yes. We will not apportion blame now. Until we have been able to sit down, head from both sides, and then we'll give our advice and see how we can move the party forward.
Okay.
The most important thing is that we want to keep the party intact and go ahead with promoting our ideas and getting our from the people.
When are you calling this emergency meeting?
Most probably by Saturday we should call the meeting.
Thank you very much, sir, for your time. George Luri Bayabo, who is a member of the PNC Council of Elders. Final comments, you?
It is interesting that General Secretary, I wouldn't want to have a banter with my General Secretary, but he says he had it 3 days ago. Yes, as a result of the actions of Ayariga whilst he was up north during the funeral of Aliu Mama, came back, and the comments he made about his attending IE and all of that, that was part of the reason. But most importantly, this exercise really is to reassure our parliamentary candidates. The 94 MPs were able to file, to reassure them that certain ones of us are ready to come into your constituencies and join your campaign. Because the flag bearer has neglected you. The flag bearer has refused to resource you. The flag bearer has refused to be part of your campaign, to encourage you to win seats and make the party relevant. As much as we are supposed to protect the integrity of the party constitution and the structures of the party, we are also interested in making ourselves politically relevant. How do we do that? Supporting our parliamentarians, our parliamentary aspirants, supporting them, equipping them. Look, today some of the MPs that came, parliamentary aspirants that came, some almost shed tears today when they were narrating their ordeal with Hassan Ayariga. And I'm waiting for an opportunity with the Council of Elders, and I'll invite them over. With regards to
you're an
his
executive, are you going to use internal channels?
Yes, yes. This statement will be copied to the National Chairman's office, and will be copied to the General Secretary too as well.
What do you want when you say rebuke? What exactly do you want?
We want the party leadership at the neck, the way we did before, to call him to order. If not, the questions people have started asking is, will he himself, Hassan Ayariga, vote for himself on December 7th?
I see.
Considering the way he's going about things, will he vote for himself on December 7th? Who does he want to vote for? To vote for him if people are not even sure that he would even cast a vote for himself on December 7th.
Thank you very much, sir, for your time. That's Abu Ramadan. He is the National Youth Organ of the PNC, organizer of the PNC. My name is Evans Mensah. Top story is brought to you by Bond Financial Services. Your success, our passion. Belacra Mineral Water, the new generation mineral water. Join us again at 6 on Newsnight. We'll bring you a very interesting, controversial political story. Fallout from last night's debate. Government has issued a statement, indeed, questioning the conduct of the MPP presidential candidate in his relationship, how he related with the moderators. We'll be telling you what that is all about on Newsnight. My name is Evans Mensah. Join us by then.